Good evening, everybody. This is Catherine Doyle. I am doing these videos to help others, or even if you just want to tell your story and get some advice, because I've learned a lot through everything I've been put through, and some of the things that were done illegally, and I didn't know that until after they took my kids. Thankfully, there's a judge that he was awesome. He just called them liars and told them that, he couldn't open my house as a foster home, but he could take custody from them and give us our little boy. He would have sent her home that day with us, but DCF lied to him and told him that he didn't have jurisdiction because she wasn't born in the parish that we lived in. But state law says that wherever you live for 6 months, that is your residency. So let's go ahead a little bit further. They moved her to a different parish with a different judge. They changed their attorney. They changed my daughter's attorney and moved it to a totally different parish. So, because they had the upper hand over there, because that judge tends to listen to Dcfs, and they don't really give foster parents any rights. But you do have rights. I did find that out. She was with us since birth. The parents lost all their rights. The parents wanted her with us. The other thing was, she had been with us. We're the only parents she knew, so we do have rights. We still have rights. And so what you need to look at is make sure you do not get a family attorney to fight for you. You need to have a CPS attorney, someone that knows what they're doing, what the laws are about, and knows what they've done wrong and what they can do about it. Because a family attorney, they can only fight so much. They don't really have the information that these other lawyers have. So you really want to have a lawyer that is has a lot of knowledge about CPS and the statutes in the state that you live in. I personally, through this whole situation, have held on because I'm a kind of mother that is not going to let go of her child for no reason. They want to say that because I'm not her blood, that I don't have any rights. That's not true. Because the state says that because we are the only parents she ever knew, we do have rights. And what they did was totally illegal. They brought up false accusations, which was proven invalid in court. When they couldn't do that, this home development worker, Gretchen Cormier, she held all the cards. What she did was she took and lied about some paperwork that she said she did not receive at the time of our certification. But that's a lie. You make sure that you keep copies of everything you do. If you want to become a foster parent, be very careful at who, is your home development worker. You do not want this woman as your worker. Because if she doesn't like you, or if something happens and, she gets her feathers in a tailspin, you can hang it up. Because she can make things disappear. She can lie to Baton Rouge, what she did about us. She lied and told them that at certification that I withheld information about my medications, which is a lie, because you have to give them your certification papers from your doctor stating that you are capable of taking care of these children and your medications. So please make sure that you do these things, and you make sure you take copies. If you have to record your interview with your home development worker to make sure that she cannot lie at any time. We think it has something to do with our age because we're both 55 years old. We're a very young 55 years old. And when these babies came into my house, I felt like I was in my 20s. The first little that came out of their mouth, I was up and running. So your medication has nothing to do with your capability of being a parent. It is, unless it is hindering you. And I proved in a court of law that my medication was not a problem. And it's really none of their business. As long as you're doing your job as a parent and keeping those babies safe, there is nothing they can do about it. And I didn't know that beforehand, but I do now. And I am determined that I will be taking them to court, and I will be helping other people that is going through what I'm going through. So if you have any questions whatsoever, please contact me. Subscribe, like my page, because the more people get to see it, the more, it'll get out there. The information needs to get out there because I'm not the only one going through this. Since I made my Dcfs Corruption Advocates page in Facebook, I've thousands and thousands of people that are having their children kidnapped from them legally. Well, it's illegal. It's being called, they steal your children under color of law. They use their job and their authority to take your children. Let me tell you, I've seen stories you would not believe. They come to these people's house in the middle of the night with no court order from a judge, just the police and DCFS workers saying, hand me your kid. You do not have to hand them your kid. If they do not have a court order signed by a judge with your name on it and the child's information, you do not have to hand that child over. You can tell them to get their behinds off of your property. Had I known that, I would have never taken them to the police station. I would have got my attorney right then, and I would have done something about it. Because what she did was she lied to Baton Rouge, told them that I hid, in other words, I hid my medications from her, which was a bold-faced lie, because my husband and I both sat there for 2 hours talking to this woman. She knew everything about my medications. She knew everything about his medications. She knew everything about our physical being. Okay, she certified us. You cannot certify somebody if you don't have all your information. So that right there was a lie. She lied to Baton Rouge. Okay, and then they're trying to cover it up by changing everything around and moving it to a different parish. Okay, you can fight this. I'm fighting it, and you can fight it. And if you're having problems, please, by all means, subscribe, call me, PM me, whatever you want to do. I will tell you your rights because I have been reading up on them. And trust me, they are in the wrong and they know it. And I got all the evidence I need, and it's in black and white. And when I do go to court, I will have my day in court. And yes, I will. And my baby girl, she will be coming home. And on top of that, they're going to pay for every bit of what they done to me and these babies. Mostly the babies, because they're the ones that's traumatized by this. It's not just us. See, and they put fear in your heart. That's what they try to do, is put fear in you. They're no better than you are. They cannot just do anything they want to do if you do not let them. They only have the power that you give them or that a judge gives them. So you don't hand your child over to these people in the middle of the night. They better have a court order, and they better have it signed by a judge. because that's illegal. That is kidnapping. And I've seen it over and over again since I started this page and this YouTube channel. Y'all need to know your rights. Please do not lose your children. Once DCF has these kids, they disappear. Okay? I've seen stories where these women and these families have one child taken, like mine. They took both mine, but the judge gave me my child back, but the other judge did not. How is it that we're capable of taking care of these babies from birth, and then the judge gives us back one, but we don't get the other one back? That does not sound even remotely legal. There's not really a whole lot that, if attorneys can do if they do not know the laws, especially when it comes to CPS. Because let me tell you, they will lie, perjure themselves in court. They will change documents. They will add to documents. I've talked to a lady that says that she called them on every mistake they made, and they covered it up. So let me tell you, do not trust anyone in CPS at all, because they do not care about you. They do not care about these children. Did you know that they get money from the state for every child they take from a home? And it don't matter if that home is good or not. They're leaving these babies in homes that they need to be taking them out of, that are drug addicts and they're being abused, but they're going to come to a loving home where the babies are thriving and happy. And that's what one of the workers told the judge. These babies were happy and thriving in my home. They were nowhere near neglected. They were not abused. I did not misuse my medication. I passed hair follicle. I passed every drug test that there was. But when she couldn't do nothing about that, she decided to lie about my certification, closed my house knowing that they would remove my children. So let me tell you, they will do whatever it takes to make that almighty dollar. Because if they, as a foster parent, you do not have to pay outrageous amount of money to adopt a child. But I had 2 newborns, and I raised them to 2 and 2.5 years old. And the thing is, if I was to adopt them privately, they could get up to $50,000. It's all about the money. It is not about the well-being or health or emotional well-being of these children. They do not care. They rip. My little boy cries for this baby. He's always asking, where's my sissy? I want to play with my sissy. When is sissy coming home? He is 3 years old. He is not stupid by no means. And I promise you this, if they put them in a room together, what they're hoping is that they'll forget about each other. That's not going to happen. Those babies were raised like twins. And I promise you, if they put them in the room together, it's all over for DCFS. Because them babies are going to know each other. They love each other. They were raised in church together. They play together every single day. That you never seen one without the other. So I'm just telling you, be careful. This can happen to anybody. It's not just me. There's other families that this is happening to. Look on the news. It's everywhere. So I'm just asking you, please subscribe. Please contact me if you have a story. Actually, I'm getting a group together, or I have a group, but we're trying to figure out, when we can do this. But we are going to do a protest. They've had protests in all kinds of cities, in California, New York, Chicago, Detroit, different cities, and they're wanting something done because this is legal kidnapping. They're using their job to kidnap these children and take them away to make money. What is that called? Sounds like trafficking to me. Think about it. Till next time, y'all have a good night.